There are three aspects or dimensions of consideration that I use for judging the power of an idea. One is the intrinsic potential influence, the microkinetic influence, and the macrokinetic influence. The intrinsic potential of an idea pertains to the raw solution itself. For instance, I could write a potentially award-winning theory on gravitational waves in a format as simple as a Facebook post. The intrinsic value of the idea that would exist in the Facebook post would have nothing to do with how many people saw it, supported it, or not. And because of that, I may have a Nobel Peace Prize winning idea written in a Facebook post, but it may never actually go anywhere or accomplish anything forthright. This would be because the Facebook post wouldn't have gained enough traction or microkinetic influence. The microkinetic influence is often what millennials use to judge the value of a person or an idea. This pertains to how many social media followers one has or doesn't have, how many people actively and directly know about the idea that you have put forth and would be influenced by it directly. The problem, though, with this way of thinking is that there's always more to consider than simply that. There's far more to base your self-esteem on and the value of any given idea than simply how many Facebook likes you get. Meanwhile, the macrokinetic influence is a matter of consequential mathematics that extends to the ends of space-time, the chaos theory. If a butterfly flaps its wings in Australia, does a tornado occur in Idaho due to a countless number of events that connect them consequentially, most of which are unable to be viewed by the naked eye. The butterfly's flap has almost zero microkinetic influence, but a tornado's worth of macrokinetic power and more. Here's an example of an item with great intrinsic potential value. The novel called The Hunt for Red October, written by Tom Clancy before it was published. Many people don't know that that novel actually sat in a drawer for years before it was actually published. It was an item that contained an idea that had massive intrinsic potential value, yet because it sat in a drawer, it had no microkinetic influence. However, once it was published, it began to gain microkinetic traction. You could literally count how many books were sold. You could theoretically count the exact number of people that had read the book and were thus directly influenced by it. I would define marketing in my own terms by saying that marketing is the art and science of catalyzing microkinetic force to any given value variable, or converting the intrinsic potential of any value variable into microkinetic motion. A value variable could be anything, a book, a business, a general idea for anything conceivable. The macrokinetic influence, however, continues to extend to the ends of space-time, such as how the book The Hunt for Red October has influenced the very way that this video was filmed. At the time that this video was recorded, I hadn't even read the book, yet it has influenced the making of this video, else I would not have thought to mention it to begin with. At this current time, you cannot count me as part of its microkinetic influence, but you could definitely count me as part of its macro. I don't like the book on social media, yet it has still influenced my life with some small measure of value, even if small.